Dad loved his black shoe polish. He developed the habit of polishing his own boots during his time in the Air Force and continued to did his whole life. He kept shoe polish in almost every drawer in the closet, in the cabinet beside his bed, and in his torturer's bed. On stage, I could almost see my reflection in his boots. I was wearing my stage overalls, hand embroidery with rainbows and farm scenes on my mother. She was on stage also, and we were singing "Can the Circle Be Unbroken?" It was a song from her family, the Carter family. We sang it on every show. I bellowed loudly into my microphone. My pitch was bad. I could hear the melody, but without formal training, staying in tune was something else. Still, I sang with every bit of energy I had. From the moment I could walk, my parents brought me on stage. They stood me in between them, gave me the mic, and told me to sing along. That night, when the song ended, Dad turned to me. "Thanks, John Carter, for helping us with that." The crowd roared. I felt a familiar bloom of joy inside. I loved the applause. It was addictive. "Where are you going now, John Carter?" the man at my side asked, the entertainer, my father, and my eye. "I'm going fishing." "You got worms?" "Yep, but I'm going anyway." The crowd burst into laughter. My one joke. It was always ahead. Dad turned to the band leader, Bob Wooten. "Bob, kick off Daddy Sing Bass." "I got a song I want to sing," I said loudly into the microphone. Bob looked at me questioningly. Dad turned to me, uncertainty in his eyes. "Well, all right then," he said, after just the shortest of pauses. I chanced to glance at my mother on stage. She was smiling, but had the same uncertain nervousness in her gaze. I turned to the expectant crowd and sang, "I keep my pants up with a piece of twine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the ties that bind because you're mine." At that point, I paused for effect, looking around. All eyes were on me. "I pulled the twine," I finished. The crowd did not disappoint me with their response. Bob hit the first lick of Daddy Sing Bass on his guitar, but I loudly called out, "Wait, wait, wait, I've got another song." My father turned to me with an unfamiliar, stern gaze. I paid no heed. I glanced at my mother, who also eyed me incredulously. Bob stopped playing and looked to my father for direction. The crowd had grown quiet. I had their attention. "I'm being swallowed by a boa constrictor, boa constrictor, boa constrictor. I'm being swallowed by a boa constrictor, and I go down, down, down. Oh no!" I looked at my father for support. He responded with a half smile. "There goes my toe. Oh me, there goes my knee. Oh fiddle." I wrapped my arms around my waist tightly then. "It's up to my middle. Oh heck, it's up to my neck." My hands around my neck. "Oh dread, it's up to my..." At this, I broke off into a garble of unintelligible sounds. The crowd once again laughed, but this time not with the same enthusiasm. "That was wonderful, son," my mother sang this time. "Now here we go, Daddy Sing Bass." Again, Bob kicked off the song. "Wait, wait, wait," I cried. "I've got another song." My father looked at me sternly. It was that same look I was unfamiliar with. His frown froze, my words in my throat. My mother walked over to me and put her arm around me. My father loomed over me like a great oak tree, put his hand on top of my little head, applying gentle but steady pressure. This time, Bob did not stop. After the song, I headed to the dressing room with Mom. "Wait here for your father," she said. "I know he will want to talk to you. You were a bit out of hand on stage tonight, son." "I was just wanting to sing a song, Mama." "Well, there is time for that, and you had your song. You were trying for too much. Now just sit here and wait. Your dad will come see you after his encore." So I sat and waited, anticipating what was to come. Waiting was the worst part of all. I listened first to the hypnotic drone of "I Walk the Line," and then the thunderous rumble of Orange Blossom Special, Dad's harmonica wailing through. After the song ended, the applause died as the house lights came on. I heard the steady beat of those giant boots pounding down the hall, step by step, toward the dressing room. I'd never feared my father, but I knew that I was in trouble then. With each step, my heart beat harder until it was pounding in my ears, in time with the thumping of those boots. The footfall stopped outside the dressing room door. Then the door handle turned, and slowly the door opened. There stood my father, looking huge. I cowered. He walked through the door and over to me. Then he kneeled on one knee, the sweat from a 3-hour performance thick on his face and dampening his flow. He moved close to me, his nose almost touching mine. We were eye to eye. Never do that again," he said quietly and without anger. Then he smiled. Dad never let frustration drift away from him. Effortless calm. He never remained angry with me. He never raised his voice to me except on rare occasions, and it was usually only to get my attention, to keep me from hurting myself. And you know that to me that whole story shows the gentle nature of my father. The gentle man, kind and loving.
Yeah, I thought you were in trouble.